Patch 9 has got to be right around the corner, and also there's another upcoming AAA Dungeons and Dragons video game in development. Let's talk about it. So yesterday on Larian Studios' Billi account, and for those of you guys that may be unaware, Billi is basically like China's version of YouTube. Larian Studios posted this. Now yeah, I get it. This is not really enough to warrant an entire YouTube video, and I don't really like to post anytime a speck of speculation dust clings on to one of my untrimmed nose hairs. But my latest BG3 video was age restricted, which basically means the revenue completely tanked, and my average viewership went from 1,000 views per hour down to a mere 4 viewers per hour, but I appreciate all 4 of you. But if you're wondering why, and you're probably not, but I'm going to tell you anyways, it was probably from that LARP footage from a previous panel from Hell where Larian took the fake blade and cut the hand and all that stuff. But believe it or not, YouTube takes 45% of all ad revenue and 30% of all channel memberships and donations, and there's zero communication. Zero. But that's a topic for another day. Fucking shit. A ghost and a question mark. But what does this mean? A lot of people are speculating that we might be getting something on Halloween, which is October 31st, of course. And considering that Halloween falls on a Monday, I think this could potentially be true. But what are we getting? Is it going to be patch 9 or is it going to be the next panel from Hell? I got no idea. Now, what I will say is that this means something. If you guys remember back in February, let me see if I have the picture ready to go right here. Larian Studios posted this on their Billi account, and basically the translation came out to something along the lines of, in February there's going to be a patch, and then of course the artwork was kind of hinting towards us getting the barbarian class, as that guy right there looks like a barbarian, and lo and behold, all of this came to be true. We are coming close to that 4-month mark since the latest patch, which was patch 8, and it would make sense for Larian to release a patch before the craze of all the holidays. But if I had to guess, I would say that this post simply means that we're going to be getting a spooky BG3 Halloween themed panel from Hell. But as for the date, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if Halloween is actually the best day to do it, considering that over in Belgium, when they do the panel from Hells, it's usually like getting close to evening time over there, which is the heart of Halloween. So I'm not sure if that would be ideal for Larian, but I really don't know. As to what's actually going to be in the patch, if I had to take a guess, I think we're going to get another class. We only have 2 more classes to complete the player's handbook, and I would have to say the paladin class, because paladins smite evil, and that would go really well, especially in a panel from Hell if they have somebody playing a paladin smiting all the evil around them. I know there's a lot of paladin fanboys on this channel, and I might even consider myself one of them with you guys. But if this doesn't actually turn out to be true, don't take it out on me, okay? My mental health is vulnerable to radiant damage. That was pretty good. And that's about it for the Baldur's Gate 3 news. I will keep you guys in the loop when we get some more official news, and I'll of course be streaming and talking about the patch when it actually comes out. But now let's talk about the other news. An upcoming AAA RPG set in the Dungeons and Dragons franchise. It's actually not this one that I'm showing you guys right here. This is on the Hidden Path Entertainment website, and this is also an upcoming AAA RPG that takes place in the D&D franchise, but I already talked about this one last year when Hidden Path Entertainment tweeted out that they're hiring, and apparently they're still hiring for this. But the other day, we also got an IGN article that talks about another AAA game in development, and then in this article, there's another one too. I'm actually getting a little bit confused, but there's a lot of stuff apparently coming out in the D&D franchise. The developer behind the D&D Dark Alliance, shit. Is working on a new AAA D&D game and has rebranded from Took Games to Invoke Studios. As reported by Polygon, D&D publisher Wizards of the Coast announced the new game is being developed in Unreal Engine 5. Well, I guess that's good news. And will be a AAA game derived from the D&D universe. No release date or further details about what the game will be were announced, but Wizards of the Coast did reveal that Invoke is planning to up its development team from its current 80 members to more than 200 by 2025, though it's unclear if this full 200+ team will be necessary to complete development on the new game. And we didn't get a trailer. This is the old Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance trailer. I don't want to say old, because the old Dark Alliance games were fantastic for their time. This is a trailer for the most recent Dark Alliance game made by Took Games. And let's just say, if it was a $5 or $10 game that wasn't based in the D&D franchise, based on some of my favorite characters of all time, it might have been an okay game. But it wasn't. Dominic Guay is leading the studio after leaving Ubisoft. Oh, that's great. Not really a fan of Ubisoft either. In 2021, where he worked for 20 years on games including Watch Dogs and its sequel. So we have this upcoming AAA D&D game being created by Took Games, which has been rebranded to Invoke Studios. Took Games not really off to the best start in the gaming industry. And then the leader of this project, I guess, left Ubisoft. So that was like his entire career because he was there for 20 years. Now, I don't know anything about the Watch Dogs games. Maybe they're amazing. But Ubisoft as a company overall, not really a fan of their games. They tend to be very, very generic and very boring in my opinion. And there's so many other companies that make way better RPGs than Ubisoft. With that said, this guy is leaving Ubisoft, so maybe he's going to be able to fully do what he's always been meant to do. And I don't know anything about Watch Dogs. Maybe Watch Dogs are some of the greatest games around, and maybe this guy's a great leader. Either way, I'm trying to stay open-minded about this, even though it's not looking that great off the bat. But I'm gonna reset myself, stay open-minded, and make sure I can look at this without being completely biased towards hating it, okay? And below this it says, fantastical AAA open world games appear to be a theme for Wizards of the Coast at the moment, as the publisher opened a new studio in July led by Dragon Age's former executive producer Christian Daly. And then they mention BG3 quickly. They say elsewhere in the D&D world, Baldur's Gate 3 is now confirmed for a full launch in 2023. So I had no idea. Apparently this was news as of a couple months ago, that there's a new studio being led by Dragon Age's former executive producer, and this is going to be another Dungeons and Dragons video game. There's nothing really in this article that we need to talk about because it doesn't really tell us anything at all. The studio making this game is Texas-based game development studio called Skeleton Key. So Wizards of the Coast has been acquiring studios, and they're in full production for making all of these D&D video games, but hopefully Wizards of the Coast really puts an emphasis on quality for games within the D&D franchise, because Dungeons & Dragons is such a beloved franchise, and there's so much quality within it that hopefully these video games can represent that well, unlike the recent Dark Alliance game. And then of course Magic Legends, that was a trash cash grab that came out was that last year? Maybe it was. And Magic the Gathering is owned by Wizards of the Coast as well. So I'm going to remain skeptical, but I'm going to keep an eye on these, and hopefully these turn out to be good projects. Now, there's one more thing I want to bring up, and this is from an article last year that I remember covering, and this kind of gives us a hint as to what we may expect with some of these upcoming Dungeons & Dragons video games. Each game we bring to the market will explore a different exciting adventure and set of gameplay themes in this diverse universe. In one game, you might run a thieves guild and traverse the thieves' highway of Waterdeep. In another, you might marshal dragon hosts in the war-torn world of Krynn. In still another, you might explore the very origins of the D&D universe in real-time combat. This brand's richness is an enabler of tons of amazing game experiences, so rather than a challenge, we see it as an amazing opportunity. And that's Wizards of the Coast speaking on behalf of their upcoming games. Chris Cox from Wizards of the Coast, that's a quote from him from this article. So Krynn, Waterdeep, and perhaps the origins of the D&D universe are all possible themes for these upcoming D&D video games. So there's a lot in the works. Hopefully we can look forward to this stuff, and hopefully they turn out to be good, but I will keep you guys all updated. And of course, I'll keep you updated on upcoming Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 9 news. Catch you on the next one.